Hey everybody, it's Amy and Jim, and this is all about those who are taking the class for the AmySews Serger Subscription Box, the Seattle shirt. And I just want to review some cutting, fitting. So if you're not part of our box, you can join class only at amysews.com. If not, you can just move on because we're going to talk about putting the pattern together for the class.
So we'd love to have you join if you'd like to join us.
Tuesday the 19th is our class. So there's a video in your library already about how to print the patterns, tape them together, get them ready. But one of the things I notice when I'm doing this is you really need to take your measurements, right? I don't want you just to say, oh, I'm a extra large in the store, I'm just going to cut an extra large. This pattern, I think, is running a little thin for me because I'm a big girl. I want some room in my garments. So the first thing I did is I measured my bust. And this is your upper bust right here, right? This is your upper bust. This is your bust, your waist. And we say, Jim, about 5 inches down, yeah. 5 inches down are your widest part of your hip, yeah. Right? You're going to need those because these patterns go from an extra small to a 6X. And one of the things I want you to remember as you're cutting this out, this number is not a reflection of who you are as a person, right? So you are going to ignore these sizes. These are CAD-made patterns, you know, so I'm just going to be very transparent. I'm a big girl. So normally I'm at 2X if I just go into Talbot's and buy a t-shirt, right? Mm-hmm. But when I did this, 2X is fine here, 2X is fine here, 2X was not fine on the sides. So I had to grade it out, which means I started from the armpit. You don't want to change the shoulder and you don't want to change the armpit, right, Jim? We just want to add, I just graded it down to a 4X on the sides. So when this is in the center front, I have plenty of room to wrap around and hit me on my side. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I just want you to, what do I want to say? I just want you to be cautious of that and don't feel bad about having to make it bigger. Pattern runs very small in my opinion. Yeah. Okay.
And so, you can always trim it a little smaller afterward.
You can always cut it down, yeah. But you cannot make it bigger when it's in there. The other thing I did is I lengthened it 2 inches and it says lengthen and shorten here. And that's because it has this scooped hem, which I really like. I'm excited. So if I get this pattern to fit, it's probably going to be my go-to pattern. We're doing a V-neck in class because we're going to talk about doing a V-neck. We're going to talk about taping shoulders, just basic, good construction with your serger. So that's what the class is all about. For those of you who are members of the Serger Subscription Box, that's kind of what we're doing. So in your library, once you log in, and we talk about the little chart, how to lay everything out. But I just want you to be cautious before you kind of jump in and cut out your pattern and cut out. You want to measure. Measure upper chest, waist, and hip, and then take your tape measure. Now there's a 1/4 inch seam allowance in here. It's built in, right? So when you measure from here to here, this is only half. So if your measurement is 40 inches, this is only going to be 10 because we're going to open it up in 10. Mm-hmm. Then there's going to be 10 in the back and 10 in the back. Yeah. So make sure you're doing math times the pieces,
and
right?
And your seam allowance added in too.
And right. So the seam allowance is going to take up 1 inch on each pattern piece. Mm-hmm. Right, Jim?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, good. So I just want to let everybody know, just pop on. Oh, hi, Sandy. Thank you.
Sandy?
To pop on and just double check because I'm a little behind schedule, but I promised by class I'll have one made and one cut out. So especially taping the seams and doing the neckline. That's really what we're going to focus on tomorrow. Hi, Miss Stephanie. So yeah, this is kind of an unusual just pop on. So yeah. All right, everybody. So get your patterns printed, get them prepped. And when you print your patterns, right, make sure you have the key. Well, mine are all taped together. This is a 2-inch square. Make sure when you print your patterns, this measures 2 inches. Yeah, we don't want you to ruin your beautiful fabric either. So
and actually too, when you're doing your printing, when you sometimes some of your printers are set up on your computer to do a print preview, you could tell them just to print that one page. And that way you're not printing out a whole pattern and finding out it's too small. So if you print out the one page, like Amy said, with that little guide there that you can measure, print the one page, measure your square. If it's 2 inches, you got the perfect settings.
Right, exactly. So that's
And then print out the whole pattern then.
which is probably page 1, right?
Yeah.
Or cube 1. So yes, and I'm doing a 3/4 sleeve just because I like a 3/4 sleeve.
It's very flattering.
It's very flattering, and we're going to talk about. I might as well talk about it now. So especially when you are of size, right? And maybe you have larger upper arms. When you put this sleeve on, wherever that dark line is where it says short sleeve, if that sleeve cuts me right here at the widest part of my arm, it's going to be very unflattering. Your sleeve length, pretty much the shortest you should go is your bust, unless you're going all the way into a tank top, right? So 3/4 sleeves looks better on me. It's more proportional. If you're shorter, right, you're going to want to hem that sleeve to your bust line. And if it doesn't cover your long arm, you know, your larger arms, that makes you nervous, like it makes me nervous, then I want you to go to a 3/4 sleeve. It's going to be much more attractive to do a 3/4 and scrunch it up, or you could go all the way, you know, to your wrist. So we're going to be cover stitching, taping seams, V-neck construction, hemming a curve. That's going to be a good one. So
Fine.
yeah. So anyhow, so that's the scoop. So those of you who are popping on tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, at AmySews, inside AmySews, you're going to log in because it's the actual class. And Jim and I will be there to do the construction and the work. You'll have downloads. Jim did a tip sheet. There's a couple other little things we put up in there as well. And if you want to join us at AmySews, you can get class only. We can't ship any kits just because we don't have any to ship. We're sold out. So if you want to join us, just go to AmySews.com and get the class only. Okay, everybody, have a terrific night, because the more you know.
The more you sew.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.